Hello guys, welcome back onto the Dutch couch. It's pretty clear now, this Premier League title race between Liverpool and Arsenal is kaput, it's gone, it's done, it's over. Right, what I've read over the weekend, what I've been seeing on social media in particular, Arsenal fans, we've had injuries, we've got no strikers. Facts don't lie, right? Liverpool are simply a better team, they've been more consistent, they've won more games, they've lost less games, they've scored more goals, right? And for me, the biggest factor here, the manager and the players, is the mentality between the two teams and managers. Arne Slot has come in here, right? And I said this in an earlier video, and I'll put a link to that video in its description, so you know I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not Mystic Meg, but what I've said in that video has totally happened, and I knew it would. I guaranteed it was going to happen, and it has, right? He's come over here. Seamless. It's been seamless when he came in for Jurgen Klopp. But because this guy simply is adaptable, so much more adaptable than his opposite number in Mikel Arteta. He analyses literally everything as a game goes on. He knows when to give a player a breather, when to bring a big player on if needed, tactical changes during games, substitutions. This guy is elite. He understands the game. He's second to none. His understanding of the game is second to none. He's top draw. I mean, even in games when they're not playing well, somehow, this is a sign of champions for me with Liverpool. They find that extra 5-10% at the end of a game to grab a point or the free. They go till the end. They are relentless. And a big factor for that for me has been Ryan Gravenberch, but I will talk about him in a second. He's immense. He manages to play a system, this guy, right, that doesn't restrict players. And for me, in the modern game, that is massive, because I see so many teams now playing in these systems. The players are like robots. These players do not look restricted. They look free. They look like they're enjoying playing that type of football. They're expressing themselves, and they're doing it with a smile on their face for this manager. He must be an absolute joy to play for, this guy. I love him. And it's not just because he's Dutch. People have been questioning him. As soon as he walked through the door, and there was talk of him actually, before that, there was talk of him coming to Liverpool. All I heard was, oh, who's this guy? He's never going to be as good as Klopp. I don't know. This guy's not going to be big enough for Liverpool. Well, let me tell you, when I was asked about him at that time, I said he will come in here. He will win the title here with Liverpool, with his squad of players. And he's not even had to add to the team. I know he's brought in Chiesa and a couple of fringe players or whatever. It's seamless. He's actually improved players. I mean, when I look at Arsenal, I'm going over to Arsenal for a second. They look so one-dimensional to me. They're so predictable, and they look easy to play against. Liverpool, they're so fluent in their play. They can go short, they can go long. They mix it up. Arsenal, it looks so predictable. Even I'm watching the game knowing what they're going to do. Predictability is not going to win you league titles. Nicking a goal from a set piece is not sustainable. I've said it before. Teams are setting up now against Arsenal. They know what to expect. They know there's not going to be anything different. With Liverpool, teams don't know how to... I don't think teams know how to challenge Liverpool. Because Liverpool will go toe-to-toe with anyone, any way you play. They will play you at your own game. This manager's happy to go like that. But Liverpool, what Liverpool is, I look at Liverpool's players, and they look like a squad of winners. They look like a squad of men, players that look like they're ready to win big trophies, like they want to win more big trophies. They've got no fear of anyone. When they go away from home, I never fear for Liverpool. I always expect Liverpool to go somewhere and turn anybody over. Anybody. And they're doing it. With Arsenal, I'm always expecting a slip up with them. I'm always thinking, oh, they're going to have a soft touch day today. They're going to be ripped today. And although they haven't lost a lot of games, they've drawn too many games. They've not got what Liverpool have in the respect that they can they can push on for that extra 5 or 10%. Liverpool are a different level in that respect. They've got so many good attacking players that obviously Arsenal haven't. They're a well-oiled machine, I'd say, Liverpool. In this short space of time that this manager, Arne Slot, has come in, he has got every single player knowing their job, knowing what they have to do for the team in that system. Nobody down tools. They all have the knowledge that if someone else is having a bad game, they'll give it extra. They don't let anybody else do their running for them. They run their socks off. They run through the brick wall for this manager and for that shirt. And they feed off the energy of them fans as well. What I'm saying about improving players, I mean, it's no shock to me, no surprise to me whatsoever. And I've mentioned this before as well. Since Slot has come in, the three Dutch boys in particular have totally beasted it. I've just mentioned Ryan Gravenberch. That kid, revelation. He's a Rolls Royce of a midfielder. He's just improved so quickly in that way of playing, suits him perfectly. He dictates the tempo of a game from that midfield. I can't speak highly enough of this kid. I think he's world class for me. Absolutely brilliant. Van Dijk for me has been a massive change in that fella. I saw him last season and I'm thinking, oh, Dutch captain, I'm thinking, oh, but he's starting to wane now. He's starting to drop off. Well, I'm seeing this season, not only his quality on the pitch as a player, I'm seeing even more of a leader with Virgil van Dijk. I'm looking at him now thinking, he looks like he's got another 10 years in him at the top level. I've not seen anyone really ripping to pieces at all this season. He looks so composed and he's giving so much confidence to them players playing alongside him. It's unbelievable. And Cody Gakpo, I know he's had a few little niggles and what have you. He's been different class when I've seen him. Totally different monster to what I saw last season. Totally different animal. They've got so many good attacking options. But I think Gakpo's going to be a massive player for Liverpool going forward. Absolutely brilliant. I love him. Arsenal fans can point at the likes of Jesus and Havertz being out injured. Saka, Martinelli now. So they have got injuries. Fair play for that. But if you look at Havertz and Jesus, and I'm comparing them to Liverpool's attacking, those two get nowhere near Liverpool's starting lineup for me. And I'm looking at Liverpool's bench. And I'm looking at Jota and Núñez. And I know Núñez misses chances. I think both of them walk in the Arsenal team. I really do. That's a big difference when you're going for league championships. And I even think, to be honest, I think Liverpool will win the Champions League as well. I do think that. I think they'll topple Real Madrid. If Arsenal, put it this way, if Arsenal go into a two-legged game with Liverpool, it's not a cat's owing chance that Arsenal beat them over two legs. Not at all. Liverpool absolutely rip them over two legs. You saw what Newcastle done over two legs. This is the thing with Arsenal. They've played Newcastle in the EFL Cup semi-final. They've lost 4-0 on aggregate to Newcastle. No disrespect to Newcastle, but Arsenal shouldn't be losing 4-0 on ag to them. Not at all. Not enough in them. The mentality's wrong. The mentality, they are not winners. I'm looking at them. I spoke about Liverpool, the mentality of the players and the manager. I look at Arsenal and I see a squad full of players that haven't massively won a lot of trophies, but how can we get to the next level? We don't quite know how to get there. We're at a level now where we're thinking, can we get there? But we're just not making it. And the last two seasons, really, let's get it right, Arsenal should have won those titles. This year, I think they've actually regressed in the quality of their play, attacking play certainly. And now they're starting to rely too much on these set pieces. It's not sustainable for me. I don't think it can be sustainable if you're trying to win what people think is the best league in the world. And let's get it right. Your opposition, the big spenders and the big teams, supposed big teams, the Chelseas, the Man Uniteds. I'm going to mention Tottenham because they're one of the phantom big six, I guess. They're not a great team, but they're doing nothing. Man City have been dreadful. This is really Arsenal's biggest opportunity. But they've found Liverpool too strong now, who haven't really added on to their team from last season. But this manager has got them playing so well. They look unbeatable to me at the moment. I don't see where they're going to drop points. But sadly, what I've seen on social media today and yesterday, I think it was, Arsenal fans on social media calling out Declan Rice, this Div Lee Judges, absolutely calling out Declan Rice. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, these people, you wonder why the Arsenal fans have become a bit of a laughing stock. These Lee Judges and his little AFTV mates, this lot, they've preyed for years on Arsenal's failures to make them a bit of that. It's so predictable what these fellas are doing again. And to be fair, with Declan Rice, what I'm saying on this point is, Declan Rice is one of the only players I'll see in that Arsenal squad, of a handful of them, who gives absolute blood, sweat and tears every week. And for this clown to come out and slaughter him is ridiculous. It just sums it up about these idiots. Some of these, they're not supporters. I don't think they're true supporters. They're clinging on to this club to try and be a somebody. You're nobody, mate. You're a div. You talk bollocks. You talk absolute crap. Your football knowledge is zero from the videos that I've seen. But when you're calling out Declan Rice, it's not right. It's wrong. It's crazy. It doesn't make no sense to me. Absolutely ridiculous. Every time Arsenal seem to have a chance to close the gap, with the mentality, I go back to mentality every 2 minutes. But it's so obvious with this. Every time they have the chance to close the gap or really make it a race, they just can't do it. I mean, they lost a 2-goal lead at home to Villa the other week when they desperately needed those 3 points. And they lost a valuable 2. Well, they've lost a valuable 3 on Saturday against a team struggling near the bottom of the league. And I'm thinking, you can't keep doing it. You can't keep dropping points against these teams. It's like deja vu. I mean, last season, Groundhog Day, valuable points to Fulham, the Villas. It's these teams, the West Hams. It's the same teams who you're struggling against. So they've either sussed you out or you're not learning a lesson. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's happening continuously. Now, 3 years in a row now, you've been in a title race. And I'll be honest, I'm not even sure Arsenal are going to finish second this year. The way they're going, the lack of creativity and goals. I mean, I'm looking at Odegaard. The guy looks lost. And that guy is an absolute baller. Brilliant player. He looks lost because I think he's short of options to play to. He don't know who to play to. I've got to say, absolute shining light from Arsenal's season is the 2 young boys who have come through. Lewis Skelly and Nwaneri. Them 2 are going to be they're going to be long-term Arsenal stars and England stars, both of them. They're absolute ballers, brilliant footballers, and I love them. And I actually love the young kid, Lewis Skelly. I know he's getting a bit of stick about these celebrations. Mate, we should be embracing this in these young players coming out and expressing themselves. A bit of shit-hazzery. We should be loving this. And I don't know why opposing fans are making fun of him. I think he's brilliant. But for me, Liverpool, we know the title's over. It's done. They'll win the Champions League as well, in my opinion. With this manager and the right recruitment, people say he's lucky he's come into that squad. I didn't think of it that way. I was sort of on the other fence where it's going to be tough coming in for Klopp. The fans loved him. He was a club legend there. But this man's got so much talent. So the man management skills of this man, I reckon if you spoke to any Liverpool player there, they would tell you his man management skills are second to none. Elite. I've used the word again. Absolute elite. It's over. I think Arsenal need to regroup in the summer. They need a forward man. I think their owners, I'm not sure. I know Arteta came out in a press conference and said he was disappointed they didn't do anything for a striker. So he obviously had his targets. Whether it wasn't viable financially, I don't know. And whether the board didn't back him, I'm not sure. Not sure if there's a bit of needle there between the two. I'm not so sure. But they needed that striker. I know he's someone else's player, but you put Isak in Arsenal's team, they're champions. He's that good. He's the level that they need. But whether they can get a player of that level, I'm not so sure with money and what have you. But yeah, overriding message from this is Liverpool and Arne Slot, mentality monsters. Arsenal, not quite there, got to do better. Loads of work needed. They are miles off for me. They are miles off being champions in this country. Forget the Champions League. I know exactly what's going to happen there. And I'll do a video on this, right? I'm going to predict now. They go to PSV. They either get a draw or a 1-goal defeat. They come back to the Emirates, absolutely smash them. And then they go out with a whimper in the next round. That's going to be Arsenal's Champions League hopes and Champions League form this season. And I'll go back to this because I know it's going to happen. It's predictable. They are so predictable to watch and they're so predictable with the results and how the season pans out. It's becoming Groundhog Day. Absolute Groundhog Day. But yeah, have a good one. Arsenal probably win 12-0 against Forest on Wednesday now and shut me out. Have a good one. Take care.